Namaste. Welcome you all for the workshop on Astanga Yoga Level 3, consisting of theory and introduction to Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. All these are very closely linked to one another, and there are umpteen number of techniques of which we only cover some basics. It's a very great field, so to say, spiritual adventure, and one should have tremendous practice, perseverance, patience to achieve the end goal of self-realization. However, there are various benefits apart from the spiritual goal, even in the materialistic life, for those who practice this path. So today we are going to look at what Patanjali means by Samadhi. We should remember that it's very difficult to teach all these things. We only give the principles, and with practice only you will have clarity, because mind is too complex, and some of the end goals of the aspects of Samadhi are very difficult to explain in words. It is something to experience. Atha yoga anushasanam, as Patanjali says. So today we will look at some more techniques which helps us to purify the mind. Today we will explore that the extension of Dhyana, and we have to go towards the complete absorption on the object of meditation. We should know that the challenges to focus are what you call as ATM, always thinking mind. We are always used to keep on thinking, and the thoughts are in chain. One thought leads to another, and whenever you sit for meditation, the thought flow will be so much that there is forgetting. You will forget what you are doing. You are meditating on an object, you forget. Then mind wandering because of too many distractions. That's why practice of yama niyama is very important. If you closely observe, there is a lot of self-talk that is going on inside the mind, and a lot of whispering will be there in the mind, which are often disturbing, and they can lead to a lot of psychological problem, and they steal away our joy. Rightfully, we are to experience bliss and joy in and through our life, but joy becomes just event based, and joy has become an event between two griefs. That is not a good way of living. So this is one of the main benefit of these techniques as enunciated by sage Patanjali. They should all lead to chitta prasadana, calmness of the mind. So now let us look at the definition of samadhi. Samadhi means complete absorption. What Patanjali says, tadeva arthamatra nirbhasam swarupa shunyamiva samadhi. So you start with an object, you have to focus on the object of meditation or concentration, and for that you have to first withdraw your senses, pratyahara, then focus, that is dharana, concentrate. Then that concentration has to be held for a prolonged period, that is called dhyana, tatra ekatanata dhyanam. And then once you mature in that, you will reach a stage where only that object will shine, which means your mind will completely take the shape of that object and nothing else. You forget even that you are there. That is Tadeva Arthamatra Nirbhasam. That Nirbhasam means that only shines. The Artha, that is the object of meditation, that Artha, that alone shines in the mind. Swarupa Shunyamiva. You forget yourself. That meditator also is not there. That state of mind is Samadhi. That's what we should remember. So some of the techniques, these are the techniques which you say you can use it for Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. There's nothing called, there's a technique for Dhyana, there's a technique for Pratyahara. They are all, after all, what is important is you choose an object which is really noble, which is not disturbing, and start focusing on that. So some more techniques here are Japam. This is one of the things very traditionally we have all got used to this. Then there is something called Ajapa Japa. I'll tell you what it is. Then meditation on spiritual heart, meditation on Ajna Chakra. These are all some very vital centers which helps us. Then finally we look at love and compassion meditation, which these days there are a lot of talk going on, and all these things are scientifically studied and proved to be very, very helpful in always. So while doing japam, what is important is you can choose any of the name or japa, but here is what Bhagavan Ramana says. The mental japa is very, very important. Uttamastavad uttamandata Chittajam japa dhyanamuttamam uttamastavat ucchamandataha Chittajam japa dhyanamuttamam. When chanting any mantra, what is really great? There are three ways you can do. One is you can chant loudly. Another is called upamshu, which means you only very mildly chant using your lips, and another is you do it mentally. So doing mentally is very, very important. So japa means to rotate. You keep on doing the same thing. That's what japa means. And mantra means mananat trayate iti mantraha. Mantra is such words, group of words, which mere chanting, they will help us to cross the turbulence in the mind. So they are there, too powerful. And sustained repetition of that which protects, mananat, sustained repetition, that protects means trayate, from all miseries arising from the bondage or cycles of birth and death is called mantra. But let us know that these mantras are very powerful. There are a lot of studies to support this. What mantra to take? It depends upon one's own belief system. So we are not particular about what mantra, but today what we are going to do here, we take a very generic mantra. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Guru, I think all of us have some guru, or even, whatever we learn, that whole thing is because of guru. And guru means also, God is also included. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So this is a generic mantra which all of us can take. So we will try to chant this. First I will chant loudly. You can listen, and mentally you have to just repeat this Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. That is the crux of the thing. In between, no thought should come. No, your mind should be completely absorbed in this mantra, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. This means I surrender to Guru. So once you surrender, you should not have any thoughts in you. Surrendering means that you completely transfer your mind to the feet of that supreme power called Guru. So you should not have any sort of uh, intruding thoughts, right? So sit upright in any comfortable position, chest undeveloped, and tip of the thumb and index finger in contact. That is called the Chin Mudra or Gnana Mudra. Watch your posture, the toes, the feet, the legs, knees, thighs, the trunk, shoulder complex, both the arms, throat and the neck, facial muscles and organs. Relax our facial muscles and organs. So when you relax the facial muscles and organs, you will see a soft smile. Just experience the posture. Now pay attention to your breathing. Just observe the breathing, the incoming air, outgoing air. How to observe, I think we have already covered in the previous sessions. Now try to witness your mind. Even though you have closed your eyes, you will see some images. Be a witness. Don't try to judge or pass comments or remarks on any of those images you see or any of the thoughts that get generated inside. You must simply be a witness. Now we will focus on the mantra Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. You can chant with me vocally. Few repetitions we will do. Then you should do it mentally. And you should maintain the same pace as we do now, even mentally, and get absorbed into this mantra. Same principle as you are chanting, you have to focus on just the chanting. It is more than focus. You should get absorbed. Initially, some distractions will come. You must note that a distraction has come. Then again bring back the awareness or attention onto the mantra. The technique per se is very, very easy. Practice alone leads to perfection. So you can chant with me. While chanting, in the background we know the meaning. We are surrendering to that supreme force, supreme power called Guru. But while chanting, you only focus on the words Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Don't think about the meaning or anything. In japa, you focus only on those letters, Akshara Pradhana. Artha is in the background, we know it. So join with me in chanting Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. 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 Now start mentally be reminded that you are chanting a sacred mantra, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. You are doing it mentally. Be mindful about the intruding thoughts. If your attention drifts, you must bring it back to the repetition of the mantra. So all these things have to be practiced for a long duration. Any technique you can choose and practice for longer durations. Because of paucity of time, we limit the duration in this session, but this is the principle. Okay, now just be relaxed. In fact, chanting of mantra, if you do properly, that is great relaxation. Now slowly open your eyes. So this is going to take time. It's not easy. And if the mind is highly distracted state, don't get disappointed because that is what it is. It takes a lot of practice. And whatever is the status of mind now, it really does not matter. You can, following these principles as enunciated by sage Patanjali, you can definitely make your mind very, very calm. And you will also get that eligibility to Atma Gnana. So now there are various other dimensions to mantra japa, which we shall try to cover in some other session. Another mantra is Soham. This is the natural mantra because the sound of inhalation is So and sound of exhalation is Hum. You can observe actually. Saha means He, the Supreme. Aham means I, the individual soul. So Soham, it is to remind yourself that I am that. In fact, I am that means Aham Brahmasmi. Soham. Where is this Soham? Well, actually, if you observe your own breathing, it is happening automatically in us always. That is why it is called Ajapa Japa. So Ajapa Japa means it is something naturally happening. You don't need to do this. It is happening. You just have to witness. So here is one simple technique, and here uh, navel point. That is the uh, uh, trigger point for Manipura Chakra. Okay, Manipura Chakra is a nerve plex or where nerves meet, and this is the point of health and vitality. And then observe the throat, pit of the throat. That is the Vishuddhi Chakra, and this is the point or chakra for purification and communication. So you have to imagine a psychic pathway from Nabhi, that is navel point, to the throat via the heart chakra. You have the Anahata chakra, which gives you emotional stability. So the procedure is very, very simple. You have to close your eyes, and if possible, you can do chin mudra, which means chin to the chest or chin towards the chest. And initially, you can do Ujjayi pranayama, which is slightly contract the muscles around the throat, and then slowly inhale. As you inhale, feel the sound of inhalation. It is so. Then as you exhale, feel the sound of hum. Another point, feel a psychic passage from the navel point along the region of the heart till the throat. So when you inhale, imagine energy is moving up from navel via the heart to the throat. When you exhale, imagine the energy is moving from throat to the navel point, and listen to that sound. So you don't have to do anything, you just have to listen to what is happening naturally. So I'll just maybe if you listen closely, you'll make out. Close your eyes and you can also experience the Soham. Just feel, slightly contract the muscles around the throat. If possible, take the chin slightly towards the chest. More importantly, feel as if energy is moving up from navel to the throat as we inhale, and energy is moving down from the throat to the navel. Imagine a psychic passage in the frontal body. Whole point is you must focus. You must be aware of the intruding thoughts, and you must develop that ability to identify the distracting thought and immediately shift onto the object of meditation. In this, the Ajapa Japa. You must be able to perceive that Soham. It simply means I am that. Of course, this has various deeper meanings. Let's not dwell on those things, but anyway, this is one thing that will be very, very useful in calming the mind and in understanding that this japa is built in. Okay, be relaxed. Well, these things have to be done for quite a long duration. Otherwise, you will not get that experience. So now we will look at another technique where you choose a point and try to be in that point. So this is called the meditation on the spiritual heart. This is not the physical heart. Bhagavan Ramana highly recommends the practice of meditation on spiritual heart. This is called the Hridaya Kuhara. So Bhagavan Ramana says that this is located towards the right. Identify the center of the chest, about 2 finger breadth to the right and slightly inside. Bhagavan Ramana says that is the location. Of course, there are varied opinions. Let's not go into those things. But anyway, in general, you just have to focus on that point. Locate the center of the chest, 2 finger breadth to your right side. There you have to focus. That's all. Close your eyes and just become aware of the position of the spiritual heart. Symbolically, it is said that that is where our self resides. You should not take it literally, but anyway, focusing on that point is important. Just feel that point, hold the attention there, get absorbed. Your mind should be full of only that spot. If your attention is continuous, one pointed, you may feel a mild pulse in that region. Just focus on that region. You must watch that portion internally. Bhagavan Ramana says that this meditating on spiritual heart is a very effective technique because naturally the mind becomes calm because it is referred to as the seat of the self. The oscillations in the mind reduces effectively. And when the practice deepens, there will be total absorption, which means no other thoughts, and mind becomes still. In that stillness, you experience bliss, ananda. And practicing that stillness is very, very important. Your ability to focus becomes better. The quality of your life improves. You become more efficient. Okay, slowly open your eyes. Well, as we have been saying, these things have to be done for longer duration, and there are various other centers on which one can focus. For example, what you did now can also be applied to this Ajna Chakra. Just watching the region between the eyebrows. And this is also very, very good. A lot of studies are available on this, which will help. But the same way as you did on Spiritual Heart Center, you just have to focus on the region between the two eyebrows. So this is a matter of practice which you should do. Now we will look at another thing, that is loving kindness and compassion meditation. Well, even in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, you will see this sutra for Chitta Prasadana. How should you interact with your people, be it be family members or colleagues, whatever, friends. Patanjali says, Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam Sukadukka Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavana Chitta Prasadanam. So the background is we meet generally four types of people. People who are more privileged than us, people who are less privileged than us, people who are more virtuous than us, people who are non-virtuous. Patanjali says how you should interact with them. So that is all the technique. When you find someone who is more privileged than you should not simply start hating them, feeling ill about them. He says the Sukha people, with Sukha people, develop an attitude of Maitri, friendliness. Friendliness means not go make friend with them, but it is a mentally don't develop any sort of hatred, etc. No negative emotions you should develop. Then with less privileged people, don't show your pride. You should develop karuna, compassion. Then there could be people who are more virtuous than you, better than you. You should develop mudita, gladness, appreciation towards them. Similarly, you may encounter non-virtuous people who may comment on you, criticize you. Take the comments, criticism in the right spirit. If there is anything worthwhile, adopt. Else, simply upeksha. Upeksha means, in one stage, simply neglect the thoughts, but more importantly, develop equanimity. Towards such people also, you should not develop any animosity. So we will just contemplate on this. Close your eyes. Just listen. In all our relationships, we must ensure that love and compassion flows from us. Whatever may be the situation, we must develop this aspect of love. Love means there is no selfish intention. We give preference to the comfort of others beyond our own comfort. It is akin to the love of mother to the child, but you have to extend it to just anyone around you. If they are more privileged than you have an attitude of friendliness with them, then you have no complaints against them. You have no ill feeling about them. You will be happy that God has kept them well. And if somebody who are non-virtuous comments against you unnecessarily, you don't develop any hatred. You still love them. We don't develop any sort of negative feelings in the mind when love manifests within us. Similarly, we encounter people who are more virtuous than us, then we openly appreciate them. We are glad about them. So all these things help us to open the gates of love. We also encounter people who are less privileged than us. So we develop an attitude of compassion. Maybe they are suffering. We pray for them. Suffering can be of any dimension. They may have some financial suffering, health, or some mental suffering, whatever. We pray for all those who are less privileged than us. We develop that compassion. So if love and compassion manifests in us, then you will see the way we look at life completely changes. and we experience chitta prasadana, calmness of the mind. Well, this is a very, very vast field. Meditation on love and compassion. But this is the general principle. And this implies that we follow the principles of yama and niyama. If you carefully observe, they all boil down to the following the principles of yama and niyama. So this removes all the negative emotions in us. And that is something very, very important. Purity of the mind, purification of all the negative impressions. So if you get completely absorbed in these principles, then your attitude in life also changes. You also become more positive in your social life. And these attitudes help us to progress in the path of spirituality. Okay, slowly open your eyes. Well, often people ask, how fast can these things be achieved? Well, the only answer is don't be in a hurry, be single-minded in your practice. There is a story, Buddha and his disciple Ananda were walking. Once they had to go from one place to another place, and it happened to be they have to cross a forest. And walking, Ananda got really disturbed. He didn't know when the next town is coming. Buddha was walking very peacefully. Ananda was anxious. When will we reach the next town? So there was one um, Brahmin was walking in the opposite direction. Ananda asked him, "Oh Brahmin, how far is the next town?" That fellow said, 2 miles. Buddha smiled. That Brahmin also looked at Buddha. He also smiled. They started walking. More than 2 miles they walked, and there was no sight of the next town. So Ananda was disturbed again. And there was one hunter who was there. Ananda asked him, "How far is the next town?" This hunter saw Buddha. Buddha saw him. Both of them smiled. And the hunter answered, 2 miles. Ananda, although slightly disturbed, he said, okay. He started walking. More than 2 miles. No town is to be seen. This time Ananda got really off the mood. Still walking. Buddha was undisturbed. Then there was a old lady. Ananda rather impatiently asked her, "How far is the town?" The old lady saw Buddha. Buddha saw her. Both of them smiled at each other. Old lady said, 2 miles. He started walking. More than 2 miles was covered. Then they saw the town. Then Ananda asked, "Oh Buddha, I don't understand one thing. Everybody is saying 2 miles, 2 miles, but we walked so far. I was feeling very tired. They all said 2 miles, 2 miles. That is one thing. Why did they all say 2 miles, 2 miles? Next thing, when you saw that Brahmin, you smiled, he smiled. When we met that hunter, you smiled, he smiled. When we met that old lady, he smiled, she smiled. What is all this?" To that Buddha said, "Oh Ananda, I have already walked this path many times. I knew where the next town and when will it come, how far it is, I knew. But it is you who are anxious to know how far it is. Therefore you asked that Brahmin, and all these three I keep meeting every time." And that Brahmin said 2 miles only to encourage you. Because if he says it is very far away, you may not be willing to walk. That's why he said only 2 miles. Subsequently, the hunter, the old lady, they all said only 2 miles just to encourage you. And because they knew me and they know that I know the path, they smiled. They smiled and they just told you 2 miles to encourage. Similarly, for all those who are in this path, we should remember this is a long path. That doesn't mean we should get discouraged. We should keep moving, covering the 2 miles and 2 miles, 2 miles, like that. Keep on practice, and you can reach the final goal, which Patanjali calls as Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha, mastery over the mind. May Lord Patanjali bless all of us. Let us offer our prayers to Sage Patanjali. Close your eyes, palms in salutation. Take a deep breath. Yogena jittasya padena vacham balam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Hari Om Om Shanti 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 Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Shubhamastu